ask that you take us seriously. We ask that you take on some of our ideas. We ask that you make children a priority. We ask that you do everything you possibly can to protect us.
That was 18-year-old former ward of the state Shanil Hall addressing the November 19 sitting of the House of Representatives. She was among a group of children who addressed to the House about issues affecting Jamaica's young. It was part of activities to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Convention on the Rights of the Child. In response, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced plans to launch the updated National Plan of Action for an integrated response to children and violence. You too can help to protect our children by reporting all forms of abuse happening in your community. Your favorite Jamaica Magazine program continues after this public service announcement, so stay with us.
I'm sure my neighbors hear the screams and cries.
I'm sure by now they've seen the bruises through my oversized glasses.
Can they tell I'm depressed when we speak?
Are they counting my frequent days off from work?
Domestic violence is any pattern of behavior used by an individual to maintain control or power over another. Domestic violence is not just physical, it can also be verbal. If you're in a relationship where you are being abused or know of anyone, get out and speak up. Report domestic violence by calling 119 or the nearest police station. Get out before someone puts you out.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, November 25. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ will be implementing a new foreign exchange trading platform in 2020. Governor Richard Biles says the new platform will allow buyers and sellers in the foreign exchange trade to see all daily bids and offers in real time.
So it creates a lot more transparency in the market. You don't have to depend on, giving an order and then hearing by telephone 3 hours later you got it, you only got 10% of it, or you didn't get it. You will be able to see it there yourself and in fact give instructions right at the moment.
Mr. Biles was speaking at the bank's quarterly briefing on Thursday. He says testing and implementing will be done in January and February before it is used throughout the trading operations with commercial banks. The central bank currently utilizes the BOJ Foreign Exchange Intervention and Trading Tool for sales to market intermediaries. The facility, which was introduced in 2017, utilizes two mechanisms to announce a 4-week schedule of the total amount of foreign exchange that it will sell to the market via auctions each week. These are the Standard Intervention Tool and Flask Intervention Tool. Approximately 95,000 residents of Yallus and surrounding communities will have a new fire station by August next year. The 2-story structure will be constructed on West Main Drive in Yallus. A $109.49 million contract for construction of the facility was signed on Friday at Jamaica House. Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mike Henry, says the Yallus station, which will be built by Alcar Construction and Haulage Company, is one of 3 such facilities being constructed across the country.
There was a time when you were moving to live somewhere, you would try to find out where the school was, where the church was, where the shopping was, and where the fire station was, in order that you could move from work to get to work. Some of that has been lost in the historical development of things we haven't addressed. Certainly the Prime Minister and the government is addressing the infrastructure realities that must be addressed.
The Jamaica Social Investment Fund is implementing the construction of the Yallus Fire Station under the Jamaica Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project. 2 water tender trucks acquired under the project were also officially handed over to the fire brigade during the signing ceremony. They each have an 8,000-liter reinforced coated steel tank and maximum water pumping capacity of 1,000 liters per minute. Water storage capacity at the Kingston Public and Victoria Jubilee hospitals has been significantly boosted through the installation of 30 water tanks. The tanks, which each hold 2,000 gallons of water, were donated by the Musson Foundation in partnership with T. Geddes Grant and local charity The Women's Club. They were bought and installed at a cost of $6 million. KPH received 17 tanks, 12 of them installed in the basement of the Accident and Emergency Department, while 5 are serving the wards. The other 13 have been installed at Victoria Jubilee. They are supplying the hospitals with an additional 60,000 gallons of water per day, adding to the previous 63,000 gallons of storage capacity. This now exceeds the estimated 120,000 gallons of water per day that the hospitals require for efficient operation. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton thanked the companies for the support.
It is an important gap that your contribution, your donation today is filling, because clearly it is impatient of debate. A hospital can't function without water.
Drivers and conductors of public passenger vehicles, PPVs, will soon have access to online driving training. This after Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montego signed a tripartite agreement with the Transport Authority, Edufocal Business Limited, and British Caribbean Insurance Company, BCIC. This training will be facilitated through an online software that's being developed by Edufocal, which will allow for training in the use of road code, defensive driving, and customer service.
In doing an app that is gamified, so the app that Edufocal has to do must be a game. So you teach him about the laws of the road, you teach him about how to drive, how to park, the whole 9 yards about driving. And in each step of the way, you give him a little test. And this will help the man.
Minister Montego says the first module for the software is expected to be completed by the end of next month. Meanwhile, as of January 24 next year, applicants for a learner's license will be required to pass a road code test before receiving the permit. Transport Minister Robert Montego says this is to ensure that persons are better able to use the road while learning to drive.
We are saying come the 24th of January, you have to sit a road code test before you can apply for a learner's license. You must start know the road code. And we are determined that we're going to save some lives on the road by these little steps. And it is important that a man going to learn to drive, he must know the road code.
Minister Montego was speaking at the signing of the tripartite agreement for online driving training. The new requirement for road code test is among the provisions under the Road Safety Act that was passed in Parliament last year. And finally, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is inviting entries for its Child Protection Mascot Design and Name Competition. The competition is titled Protect We Picni Dem. It is being rolled out in primary schools island-wide, targeting children ages 7 to 12 years old. They are being encouraged to design a child-friendly character that they can relate to while learning about child abuse and protection. The mascot will make special appearances at schools on a quarterly basis and will be used along with a jingle created in 2018 as part of the Child Protection Program. Participants will have a chance to win attractive prizes, including a tablet, book vouchers, gift baskets, and a smart TV. Children who wish to participate must submit their applications before Friday, November 29 at 4 p.m. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Violence against women and girls is a human problem, not just a woman's problem. It's a problem for men too. Gender violence takes many forms, including sexual assault, domestic violence, relationship abuse, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse of children. The magnitude of ongoing violence against women and children in our country is cause for alarm. We can end the violence. It requires all of us to end the violence. I call on all our men and women in Jamaica to take a stand. And men, especially, must get involved in this movement to create a better world for their daughters, their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their uncles, their fathers, their sons, and for themselves. Let's protect and reassure. Let's unite to end gender violence.
Today we join the rest of the world in observation of International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. During his recent participation at the 74th United Nations General Assembly meetings for High Level Week in September, Prime Minister Andrew Holness shared what government has been doing to protect Jamaica's women.
Our next speaker is the Prime Minister of Jamaica, His Excellency Michael Holness. Jamaica, as DSG said, will be one of the countries that will be soon benefiting from the Spotlight Initiative. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Assistant Secretary General Mohammed, Madam Mogherini, and Commissioner Mimiska. Mr. President, I join others in commending the European Union for partnering in support of action to empower women and girls. The Spotlight Initiative has provided impetus for global action to end gender-based violence. The EU's substantial financial allocation to that initiative is evidence of its unquestionable commitment to that goal. This multilateral partnership forged between the EU, the UN, and beneficiary countries for implementation of the Spotlight Initiative is an excellent model for advocacy on issues of global concern. Gender-based violence, manifested in violence against women and girls, is an issue we all grapple with within our societies. In Jamaica, we are no exception. So tackling this issue is of highest priority for my government. The abuse of and persistent acts of violence against women and girls perpetuate a dysfunctional cycle of societal violence, hinders the economic and social empowerment of women and girls in their daily lives, and slows the attainment of Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals. They must be addressed with urgency. The Spotlight Initiative is therefore a most timely and commendable one, which will undoubtedly improve the lives of not only women and girls, but entire communities. We therefore look forward to the finalization and implementation of Jamaica's national program. The €8 million which has been allocated to Jamaica is well needed to support the work we are already doing and will enable us to do much more. We have been taking a strategic and collaborative approach to the issue of gender-based violence, and we are working assiduously with local and international partners to prevent and respond to acts of violence against women and girls. Some steps taken include the implementation of the National Strategic Action Plan to eliminate gender-based violence in Jamaica from 2017 to 2027, including the launch of the first public campaign titled No Excuse for Abuse. We are amending 4 key laws in our country in order to better protect women and girls from violence. Along with UN Women, we are building out an island-wide social media campaign to increase the protection of women and girls. At the same time, we are engaging men and boys as key partners in the ongoing program to provide empowerment. We are also building out an online platform aimed at raising awareness on the issue of gender-based violence, while also providing a safe space for survivors to share their experience and seek support. This year, we've made a significant budgetary allocation for the construction of 2 nationally owned and operated shelters for abused women and their children. As global partners, we have taken action and made some progress. There is still more work to be done. Continued attacks on our women and girls are a reminder that we cannot be complacent. We cannot overemphasize the importance of continued partnership and collaboration to make this world a safe place for every woman and every girl. Tackling this challenge requires everyone's participation. Once again, allow me to express our deep appreciation to the EU and the United Nations for their support as we work towards achieving this important goal of ending violence against our women and girls. Thank you.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
If our Farmers Month features have piqued your interest and you want to get in on this burgeoning industry, watch this next feature.
Leasing government land. I benefited from being in a group experience, which I would not be able to get were I just an independent operator. You're able to bounce off things on your colleague farmers. You're able to get all kinds of information and advice and guidance from the park manager and the support team at the head office, specifically like marketing. They were able to help me tremendously with that when I went into the crop, my very first crop, and I didn't know where to turn.
Agro-Investment Corporation is the agribusiness facilitation arm of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. We were set up to facilitate large-scale investment in agriculture in Jamaica, given the importance of agriculture to Jamaica's economy, particularly as it relates to employment, food security, and exports. The AgroPark concept is framed this way, in which the government laid down the infrastructure, including irrigation, drainage, quality management systems, and technical support, and allow the farmers to make the investment on these lands, which are the most capable in Jamaica, to secure the best opportunity for outcomes.
Good afternoon.
Our investment officers, upon the discovery of business opportunities, will help the farmers to develop their business plans. And these business plans will be assessed for their technical merits and integrity. And then we'll allocate the kinds of land, the land in the right location with the right soil type and physical attributes that best match with the kind of production that will be taking place.
To lease available lands from AgroInvest, you need to fill out an application form and submit it along with your ID and proof of your capacity to invest.
AgroPark investors continue to impact Jamaica's economy in a very visible and impactful way. We have 150 investors on the 5 parks today that are spending around about $2 billion of investment each year in the park and generating over £2 million of produce each year, going into different market chains locally and export as well. Plus they're hiring about 200 persons on a consistent basis, including 80 women. So the parks are impacting the economy in a very positive and significant way in food security, in export promotion, in economic growth, and in job creation.
It's great because financially it helped me out a lot. I have 5 kids to send to school, so it's very helpful. Normally, I was at home doing nothing.
As a female farmer, you're not taken seriously initially, right? So you have to push and push to find different links, talk to different persons. And that was how I was introduced to Princess Lee, which is the agro park manager from Amity Hall. She taught me how to do the plan for the farm and different techniques, different strategies, and so on. She worked with me to develop everything, and then she showed me an area where I could work. So from there, we did soil tests and so on. I took the procedure through different steps, and right away we got started on the land.
You're coming into an environment where you'll be getting a lot of technical support. We have a strong group at Amity that helps to foster production by working together. We have a group of investors that are willing to work together to get the produce from the farm to the fork. They work with us to ensure that the food is safely produced and sent to our customers, and they work with us to ensure that best practices are adhered to on the farm as it relates to agriculture.
We're appealing to farmers to take advantage of the opportunities in Jamaica and in agriculture. The Jamaica brand is very strong, our products are very, very high quality, and we need to have more farmers investing in agriculture to grow the economy. When agriculture grows, the economy grows. When agriculture grows, inflation goes down. When agriculture grows, rural unemployment goes down.
For more information regarding agricultural land leases, call 876-923-9268 or visit the Office of Agri-Investment Corporation at 188 Spanish Town Road, Kingston.
I said be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Sexual abuse is always a very difficult thing to confront, particularly when the alleged victim is a child. Parents, if it is that you suspect that your child has been sexually abused or is in a vulnerable set of circumstances where an abuse may occur, we encourage you to have dialogue with your child. Take the child to the pediatrician who normally attends to the child. If there is no such pediatrician, take your child to the clinic, to the hospital, to some medical practitioner who can do an assessment for you. It's very important as well that we don't just look at the physical side, but we also seek to find the kind of psychosocial support that a child may need. Does the child need a session with a counselor? Does the child need to speak with a pastor who is used to dealing with these issues? Does the child need to get that ongoing psychological support to assist with the healing process and also to assist the child in becoming strong enough, as it were, to deal with the various processes that will follow once it is that you suspect an abuse has occurred? If it is that the child actually discloses when you engage the child in discussion that, yes, mommy and daddy, I was abused, we encourage you to entertain the child, to listen to what the child has to say to you, and to take it very seriously. So we really urge you to have those discussions and to seek guidance in terms of, do I speak to the police about this, which we always say you have to. Because once a child has been sexually abused, it's a criminal matter, and it means that once at all possible, the child should be assisted to go through the processes so that the perpetrator can in fact be held accountable. Support your child and let them understand in very clear terms that they are not the cause or the reason for this abuse having been perpetrated. But the most important element is to support them, get them access to the services that they need, and give them a chance to have you give them that listening ear. For these tips, and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm. Thank you.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister, 'cause she could be the next Prime Minister.
A day before International Children's Day last week, the Parliament witnessed a first. Children addressing the House of Representatives. Here a snippet of 7-year-old Ngozi Wright's plea to parliamentarians.
Hey, big man, love the liquor picnic. Go on with your sweetie, you can't trick me. Take your old car and go on where you are go. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. God give to mankind little children. Stars we a shine, don't kill them. Murderer! You a got burn in the hell. You touch a little picnic, me a go tell. Kids don't talk to no stranger. Run and scream in a danger. From your earth children, electric chair. Those who agree, put your hand in the ear. Those who agree, put your hand in the ear. So, hey, big man, love the liquor picnic. Go on with the sweetie, you can't trick me. Take your old car and go on where you a go. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. Thank you for listening to our voices. Talk up youth, Mr. For talk up youth and violence no.
And that's all the time we have for you on this station. We return tomorrow with another informative program tailored just for you. Keep the lines of communication open. Join us on social media. Visit our YouTube channel and our website, or you may download our free mobile app. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.